To hear their assessment of the first day of classes this academic year, we have with us DepEd spokesperson Michael Poa joining us live via Zoom. Welcome to The Big Story, Attorney Poa.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Sir Robbie. Good evening, Ma'am Gretchen. Good evening to you both.
So, sir, big day. Your assessment of opening of classes?
Yes, well, the general assessment based on the reports given by our regional offices through their regional directors is that the opening day of classes went relatively smooth. Wala naman pong malaking problema. Walang mga major incidents reported to our command center. However, that being said, we will continuously monitor the situation, not just today, not just the first week, but moving forward, just to ensure yung tinatawag po nating ligtas na pagbabalik eskwela ng ating learners.
But that said, sir, what were the biggest challenges?
Well, the challenges would be probably meron pa rin po tayong shortage of classrooms. That's really something that has been here pre-pandemic and something that we really want to address during the next 6 years. Basically, what we're doing now is we're doing strategies to sort of lessen the load and lessen yung grabe yung congestion in our schools, especially in the urbanized areas such as NCR and Calabarzon. So we are implementing our shifting schedules to somehow ease the congestion.
Attorney, I know when it comes to the vaccination figures, they're not that high, especially when it comes to the kids. I have here figures from DepEd. 19% of kids have complete vaccination, 92% for faculty. With these rates, how do you plan on keeping our schools safe?
That's true, ma'am. Just to clarify, the 19% is the rate as we find it in our learners' information system at the moment. We are expecting that with the opening of classes, we will be able to update our learners' information system to reflect a more accurate number as to how many of our learners are actually vaccinated. However, having said that, it is quite unfortunate na mababa pa rin po talaga yung ating vaccination rates, especially with our learners. That's why right now, we are coordinating with the Department of Health so that we could roll out counseling sessions specifically targeting unvaccinated learners, unvaccinated teachers, and non-teaching staff to help convince them to actually get vaccinated. And afterwards, when we have a number, an idea of how many people are willing to get vaccinated, we again will be coordinating with the Department of Health to roll out mobile vaccination drives so that we will be able to bring vaccination closer to our learners and our teaching and non-teaching staff as well.
Kamusta naman po ang enrollment? And for that matter, people actually, the rate of the students actually showing up. What are we seeing there?
Right now, sir, as of 7 a.m. this morning, our enrollment is at 28 million. So that is already 101% if you were to compare that with our enrollment last year. However, admittedly, it's still short of our projection of 28.6 million. We are anticipating that a lot of our parents will be enrolling today on the last day. We'll have to check the numbers tomorrow. We are also anticipating a lot of late enrollees as has been the trend for the past few years.
Sir, when it comes to the numbers, what have you noticed? Are more private school students shifting to the public schools? Meron po ba tayong datos sa doon? And 500,000 plus students didn't enroll. I think 28.03 million enrolled. Short, a little bit short, but 28.6. Ano po yung nakikita nating mga dahilan?
Opo. Yung sa trend po talaga pong may simula nung nagpandemya, there has been a shift. A lot of our private school students have been transferring to public schools, therefore giving also problems with our private school system. We'll see what we can do there. Now, in terms of doon naman po sa enrollment figures na kulang pa, we are really expecting na marami tayong late enrollees. We announced today that as per DepEd, DepEd Order Number 3, Series of 2018, the students or the learners can be accommodated as late enrollees as long as they meet yung 80% of the school days prescribed for this school year. So what does that mean? They can still enroll as long as may natitira pa pong 80% sa school days nila, which I guess to put it simply, within September, papayagan pa po natin silang mag-enroll.
Alright. Isa nga sa mga napakinggan natin sa balita kanina, itong nangangamote yung ilang estudyante sa math daw dahil 2 years na walang face-to-face classes. How do you plan to deal with the so-called learning loss?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Not only in math, also in literacy skills, no? As we've seen with the World Bank report. That's why meron po tayong learning recovery plan. We asked our schools to come out with their highly contextualized learning recovery plans because each school is unique depending on their students. As you saw kanina in the news that you just flashed before our interview, the teachers were doing assessments because that's part of our learning recovery plan. We need to cluster students to find out kung sino yung talagang may mga gaps in terms of the 2 years na nawala sila in school, and we will have intervention programs. For example, in reading, we have Brigada Eskwela Plus. This is the short-term intervention. We have Brigada Eskwela Plus where we will have Bawat Bata Bumabasa. It's an after-school program which focuses mainly on literacy skills. So that's something we are looking to implement this year. Of course, the long-term goal is to really review our curriculum and see if our learning competencies really match what the learners need. And aside from that, when we're looking at the learners, we also have to look at the teachers themselves. So a part of the learning recovery plan is to also upskill and reskill the teachers as soon as possible and make sure that our teachers are teaching loads that are of their expertise. Kasi marami pong teachers na apparently nagtuturo sila pero hindi naman nila expertise yung subject. So these are things that we are looking at in the short term. Of course, the long term is really to review our K-12 program.
Bilang panghuli, no, before we let you go, for our teachers, huwag natin sila kalimutan, I believe there's a cash allowance allocated for them. When and where can they get this?
Yes, ma'am. So this cash allowance is a 5,000 cash allowance that we started distributing today. We're hoping that within the week, lahat po ang ating mga teachers ay makakuha na. What we do is this fund is downloaded na to the SDOs or the schools divisions offices, and they're the ones that actually disseminate or credit these amounts to the accounts of the teachers. So as of today, we've been monitoring also the situation. NCR, medyo nabigyan na po yung mga teachers. I think it's just the matter of timing difference in terms of crediting sa banks. We are still continuously monitoring the situation nationwide. So hopefully before our joint press con, which always happens on either a Wednesday or Thursday, that's every week, we'll be able to give the media a sort of percentage of all the teachers that have already received the 5,000 cash allowance.
All right, sir. Of course, iwas po tayo sa mahabang pila. Maraming salamat, DepEd Spokesperson Michael Poa.